Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Revealing Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
You're welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Akosile Nicholas Walter. Here are the news making the headlines. Buhari hails armed forces, restates commitment to peace. Mali expels envoy of regional bloc ECOWAS. Australia pledges to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Buhari unveils eNaira, and MDAs may collect revenues and pay in e-currency. Conte opens to Man United job, says report. Please stay with us as we bring you details of the news after this very short break. Don't go anywhere. A warm welcome back, and now the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari says his regime will not be satisfied until peace is restored to every inch of land in the country. This is as he lauded the exploits of the Nigerian armed forces to maintain peace, unity and stability, urging Nigerians to celebrate them as the pride of the country. Buhari said this in Abuja, the 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem appealed launch, an annual event to appreciate the gallantry, sacrifices and accomplishments of veterans of the First and Second World Wars and peace support operations and internal security operations in Nigeria. The special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, disclosed these in a statement. The president said the country's full-third nationhood since independence have been challenged by civil strife, a civil war, and much uprising and violent agitations. Buhari declared that the renewed onslaught on bandits in the northwest had resulted in the military daily receiving insurgents who were voluntarily laying down their arms. He described the emblem as a sign of the sacrifices and bloodshed by officers and men of the armed forces for the peace and security of Nigeria. Moving forward quickly, Sanwo-Olu commends Edo Best and urges states to embrace digital teachings. Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has urged other states in the country to embrace the digital teaching method, which is currently improving education in Edo State. Commending Governor Godwin Obaseki for the ingenuity of starting Edo Best, Sanwo-Olu described the program as a model for across-the-board basic education reform. Lagos State officially launched EXO. Lagos State officially launched ECO-Excel in January 2020 to replicate the success of Edo Best. In Lagos, Edo Best and ECO-Excel have seen to it that teachers are upskilled, technology is deployed to schools, and the learning process is better managed. Governor Sanwo-Olu says with programs like Edo Best and ECO-Excel, pupils can have the same curriculum and so they can have the same quality in terms of input and the expected output. They copied that from Edo, and it is working well in Lagos, and they will scale it up. On his part, Obaseki stated, education is the foundation in which every other thing rests, particularly the use of ICT. For the future, they need to see how they now use technology to recast basic education. The use of technology in governance, governing the people and organizing the society starts from the stage where children are exposed to technology and have to see technology as part of their lives. In another development, Senators faults EFCC's transfer of forfeited assets to AGF. Some members of a Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption expressed displeasure over the declaration by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission that he had transferred all forfeited assets to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami. The anti-graft agency, represented by its Director of Operations, Abdul Karim Chuko, appeared before the committee chaired by Senator Sulaiman Kwari. Chuko told the senators that all the forfeited assets had been transferred to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. He says the FCC acted in line with the policy directive issued since 2019 that all final forfeited assets should be transferred to the Office of the Attorney General Federation for proper management. He did not enumerate the assets transferred to the Office of the AGF while speaking before the lawmakers. Some senators therefore kicked against the decision to transfer the forfeited assets. Senator Abamoro specifically stated that he did see any form of management acumen in the AGF office that is not in the EFCC. He says that the assets needed to be disposed of for government to raise money to finance the budget. However, the committee's chairman in his intervention says the proceeds of crime bill that is currently before the Senate would address the issue. The Commission's Director of Finance, Mohammed Joda, while defending the 2022 budget proposal, said 31.3 billion naira was proposed as the FCC budget for 2022. Now, coming from around Africa, Mali expels envoy of regional bloc ECOWAS. Mali's transitional government has ordered an envoy of the 15-nation West African regional bloc to leave the country within 72 hours because of actions incompatible with his status. The Economic Community of West African States, known as ECOWAS, is pressing Mali's transitional leader, Colonel Assimi Goïta, who seized power in a coup in August 2020, to respect his pledge to hold presidential and legislative elections in February 2022. The group threatens sanction against Mali if elections are not held by that date. Goïta's government declared the ECOWAS Special Representative Hamido Boli persona non grata and ordered him to leave the country, according to a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The statement says that while Boli was being ordered to leave Mali, the government is still open to dialogue with ECOWAS, which has condemned the 2020 coup and is encouraging the country to return to democratic and civilian rule. Mali's government has not clearly explained the reasons for its decision against Boli, which comes a day after the United Nations Security Council mission visited Mali and also pressed for February 2022 elections. In recent months, Malian Prime Minister Koguel Maiga says before the government can plan the elections, it is necessary to hold a national conference in December in which various civil and political groups can agree on a date for the elections. Still coming from around Africa, Zimbabwean author Shishi Dangaremba wins German Peace Prize. Zimbabwe author and filmmaker Shishi Dangaremba was honored with the Peace Prize of the German book trade. Dangaregba is a widely audible voice in Africa in contemporary literature, the jury says in its statement. The 62-year-old was honored for her artistic work, but also for her political commitment. She has been fighting for freedom and against corruption for years and has to answer for these in court. In her acceptance speech, she called for overcoming old hierarchical thoughts patterns, also with the help of language. She says the solution is to undo the racialized and other hierarchical models of thinking based on demographics such as gender, sex, religion, nationality, and class, and any other that were and continue to be the building blocks of empire throughout history and throughout the world. In her trilogy of novels, Shishi Dangarengba uses the example of an adolescent woman to describe the struggle for the right to a decent life and female self-determination in Zimbabwe. Her debut novel, Nervous Conditions, published in 1988, was included by the BBC in 2018 in its list of the 100 most important books that have shaped the world. The 1993 film eNaira, for which she wrote the story, is one of the most popular films in Zimbabwe. Her new novel, This Moneyball Body, was nominated for the shortlist of the Booker Prize in 2020. In addition to her work as an author and filmmaker, Shishi Dangarengba has been active for many years in promoting freedom and women's rights and political change in Zimbabwe. The Peace Prize of the German book trade, which has been awarded since 1950, is one of Germany's most important awards, worth 25,000 euros. With it, the German Publishers and Booksellers Association honors a personality who has contributed to the realization of the idea of peace. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you updates from Australia. Do well to stay with us. We'll be right back.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
You're welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Now updates from Australia. Australia pledges to reach net zero emissions by 2050. One of the world's most criticized polluters, Australia has promised it will achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Prime Minister Scott Morrison made the long-delayed pledge after bargaining with resistant Member of Parliament within his government. He says Australia has a plan to lower emissions, but it will not include ending its massive fossil fuel sectors. The nation will also not set ambitious targets for 2030, an objective of next month's COP26 Global Climate Summit. To halt the worst effect of climate change, nations have pledged to limit rising temperatures to 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2050. This requires cutting emissions by 45% in 2030 and reaching net zero by 2050, scientists have said. Over 100 nations have committed to carbon neutrality, and Australia has long dragged its heels on climate action, putting it increasingly at odds with strategic allies, including US and the UK. It is one of the dirtiest countries by head of population and a leading global supplier of coal and gas. Now more updates coming from the United Kingdom. Public sector workers set for pay rise, says Sunak. At least 1.3 million public sector workers are set to see their wages rise next year after the government confirmed their pay freeze has been lifted. Chancellor Rishi Sunak will use this budget to say nurses, teachers, and members of the armed forces are among those set to benefit. A temporary pause in salary progression was introduced last November as a response to the pandemic. Labour says tax and price rises mean families face a cost of living crisis, and the public sector pay freeze was part of the government's response to what it described as economic emergency caused by COVID, with only the lowest paid excluded. In his spending review in November 2020, Mr. Sunak says he could not justify an across-the-board increase when many in the private sector has seen their pay and are caught in the crisis. He says the pandemic had forced ministers to take extraordinary measures to protect people's jobs and incomes by targeting their resources at those who need it most. And quickly, we're going straight to business news right now. And on business news, Buhari unveils eNaira. MDAs may collect revenues and pay in e-currency. President Muhammadu Buhari unveils the Central Bank of Nigeria's digital currency, also known as eNaira, in a keynote event attended by top government functionaries at the State House, Abuja. He says Nigeria's central bank digital currency and its underlying blockchain technology could increase the nation's gross domestic product by $29 billion over the next 10 years. In his address, the president says the e-currency would help increase remittances, foster cross-border trade, improve financial inclusion, make monetary policy more effective, and enable the government to send direct payments to citizens eligible for specific welfare programs. According to him, the digital currency will help move many more people and businesses from the informal into the formal sector, thereby increasing the country's tax base. Buhari lauded the Central Bank of Nigeria for coming up with the eNaira. On his part, the Governor's Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, said since the eNaira platform went live, there had been overwhelming interest and encouraging responses from Nigerians and other parties across the world, with over 2.5 million daily visits to the website. He says 33 bankers are fully integrated and live on the platform, and 500 million naira has been successfully minted by the bank 200 million naira has been issued to financial institutions. Over 2,000 customers have been onboarded, and over 120 merchants have successfully registered on the eNaira platform. The Central Bank of Nigeria governor also used the occasion to commend the president for making history yet again with the launch of the eNaira, the first in Africa and one of the earliest around the world. And still on business news, federal government plans 5 million solar-powered households and 250,000 jobs. President Muhammadu Buhari says that his regime plans to create up to 250,000 jobs from its effort to connect up to 5 million households to solar power. Also, he says the growth figures were meaningless if they do not translate to good-paying jobs and improved standard of living for Nigerians. Buhari, who was represented by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, stated this in an address delivered visually at the opening of the 27th Nigeria Economic Summit, themed Securing Our Future, the Fierce Urgency of Now. Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akonde, disclosed this in a statement titled, "We have to take timely actions, immediate steps to achieve national goals," says Buhari. According to the president, to tackle existing problems and at the same time benefit from domestic and global trends, stakeholders both in the public and private sectors must take timely actions and immediate steps for Nigeria to achieve the desired national goals. The federal government is responding to the challenges and opportunities of the moment by articulating forward-looking policies and strategies and implementing a coherent, clear, and consistent set of actions to achieve their desired objectives. Speaking on the Solar Power Niger project, the president says it's another project of the Economic Sustainability Plan that will lead to the creation of a large number of jobs. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you sport news. Don't go anywhere.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
You're welcome back, and now on sports news, Conte open to Man United job, says report. Antonio Conte is reportedly open to becoming the next Man United manager, but only if the club demonstrates willingness to win the Champions League. Gary Neville voiced his reasons against hiring former Premier League and Serie A winner Conte, who is currently available. They won't bring a hitman in, they will stick with Ole, and he has to win something this season. Any other club, he will be in trouble tonight. You'll say he was the best manager in the world and couldn't do it. He wouldn't bring Conte into United. He's not a fit for United. He might be wrong, but he doesn't think he is. He added that he thinks it would be wrong to sack Ole. He sacked a manager after 6 games last season. It was the wrong thing to do. He shouldn't have, or he should have let things breathe. In another sports news right now, Andy Murray dumps out hookahs in Vienna opener. Former world number 1 Andy Murray knocked out 5th seed Herbert Hooker 6-4, 6-7, 6-8 and 6-3 in the opening round in Vienna. Murray had lost twice to Wimbledon semi-finalist Hooker this year, but broke his losing run against the pole despite squandering a match point in the second set tie-break. The 3-time Grand Slam champion, whose ranking has tumbled to 156 after a series of injuries, will meet teenage Spanish star Carlos Alcaraz in the second round of a tournament he won in 2014 and 2016. It was a good match that could have gone either way, says Murray, and he also says was disappointed to drop 7 in the opening game of the third, but thankfully he was able to get the break back in the next game, and from there he probably deserved to get over the line. It was a good win in tough circumstances. Defeat for Hookers delivered a big blow to his hopes of reaching the season's ending ATP finals. He currently occupies the final qualifying spot, but could be overtaken this week by Antwerp champion Jannik Sinner. And that has brought us to the end of the news on Celebration Television News Desk. And right now, we'll bring to you again the recap of the news headlines. Senior staff caution federal government on Buhari hails armed forces restates commitment to peace. Mali expels envoy of regional bloc ECOWAS. Australia pledges to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Buhari unveils eNaira. MDSA may collect revenues and pay in e-currency. Conte open to Man United job, says report. And quickly we have photo of the day. And you see somebody standing somewhere, imagining everything. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's attraction. What does that depict? What does that depict? What you picture is what you capture. You can drop your comment on social media platform on Facebook, Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, on Twitter, at My Celebration TV, on YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that your positive contribution to the wellness of a society, find yourself, or the organization you work defines your leadership mind. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed has backed his ways to success. Be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. Be a part of nation building today. Thank you once again for staying with us on our news desk. I remain Akosile Nicholas Walter. Have a blessed day. Being mounted to 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing AIM of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.